I passionately believe that when people hear music about experiences that are similar to what they have gone through, just gives them more encouragement to go and achieve their goals.
Migrating from Africa to New Zealand at the age of 14 was something that I found quite difficult.
I had no example of someone who had gone through what I had gone through, and it made things much harder for me. So a big reason that I do my music and a big reason that I put my experiences within my music is in the hope that it's, that it will help some kid out there to, make it through some tough situation, or, that it will brighten up someone's day. We came a long way from home, I accept that. Doesn't mean that we ain't got the guts to make an impact. Those who fight for their cause like the Arab Spring. Those who rose from the ash and ain't had a thing. Here's a toast to you. Let this music be a bridge that brings me close to you. Yeah, this song's for you.
Every place that I go, I take a little time to listen to the sounds of old. Sounds of old. Food for your soul. That's how it goes.
My name is Raiza Biza, and I'm a Rwandese New Zealander. I'm currently based in Hamilton and Auckland, 26 years old, and I'm a full-time hip-hop artist. When I first came to New Zealand, I kind of found it a bit hard to adjust. We were the only African family in Gisborne. But in the next couple of years, I started finding friends and finding things that I enjoyed to do. And a big part of me feels like I'm more of a Kiwi. But at the same time, when I look in the mirror, it's quite evident that I'm an African, and it's quite a conflicting thing.
I moved to Joburg with no grasp of the English language. Me and my sister learning, flicking through the TV channels. I was listening to Pac before I even knew what he was rapping for. I was rapping along. Fast forward to an island in the Pacific called New Zealand, in an apartment in the city.
I feel very disconnected to my heritage, something my dad doesn't talk about much. I don't know much about the language. I know about the history, but I can't really connect the dots. It just kind of feels like, there's something missing.
So what's next?
Flashbacks.
So far, I've been making great progress with my music career. I've released 2 albums. I'm working on my next one. I've expanded my fan base. But something that's always been important to me is progressing, growing, and solidifying my place in the music industry. So I've decided to try something completely new, something that I've never tried before, and that means taking my music and giving it the live band treatment. This is new territory for me, so there is a part of me that, that's a little bit worried, a little bit anxious about it.
All right, how's everyone? Ready? It'd be cool if you could do that synth, that sample as a synth. All right, so you're gonna start this one off, bro?
Time searching for the right zone, the glimmers of success had my mind blown. Spent too much time on figuring ways in which I might blow. This thing could turn into a cycle.
Most of the MCs and hip-hop artists in New Zealand just have a DJ and just play their tracks and rap over them. So I feel like when people see me performing with a live band, when they hear how much bigger the sound is, it should give me more opportunities to perform in more serious events.
This for back in the day. This one is for back in the day. Back in the day. Press play back, that was way back then. And again.
That feels good. You all right with that, right?
Yeah. No, that sounds cool. It's easier than I thought. Rwanda, which is the birthplace of my dad, has had a bit of a tough history. In 1994, there was a genocide that, where a tenth of the population lost their lives. So it's been pretty difficult to, get the older generation to talk about that. But fortunately, we have a growing Rwandese community, and we try and organize barbecues and other events, which gives me the opportunity to speak to people and gain perspective on my culture and my history.
So, how old were you when you came to New Zealand?
I was about 8 years old, yeah.
8? Man.
Pretty young.
So you're like a full-fledged Kiwi.
Yeah.
What did you speak in your household?
I mean, in my household, we strictly spoke Rwandese, just to speak with my mum, because she doesn't know much English.
So you were forced to because...
Yeah.
Because...
So that's basically how I stayed in touch with the culture. But I mean, end of the day, who really cares? I mean, we're Kiwis. We're in New Zealand, might as well adjust to the New Zealand way, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's how I've been living thus far, but that doesn't get rid of any of the questions that I have in my head. Oh my goodness.
Why don't you ask your dad to teach you a little bit more?
Yeah, well, he's never really been one to talk much about the past. I mean, he's always open to teaching me about the culture, but as far as like talking about the past and things that he went through as a kid, doesn't really like to speak on those kind of things.
All right.
So it's coming closer to the day of my gig with the live jazz band, and I can feel the tension building. But fortunately, I have guys in my band who have a lot of experience, such as Tonga Vaya, and he's been playing for many years.
Hey, good, thanks. Thank you, sir.
No worries, man. Thanks, sir. I think it's gonna be awesome, like doing this live thing.
Yeah, no, I'm really liking the sound. But I tell you one thing, I am quite nervous, because I've never done it before, and I don't know how my audience will react to it.
I think with having a live band, we want to do right by your music, and by you. We're just trying to make you sound good.
You also in 3 houses down there?
Yeah.
How long have you been playing with him?
For about like 4 years now. And
4 years.
Before that, I was doing that in another band called Specifics.
Would you say that your culture has actually been something that has inspired your creative process?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's the biggest thing that kind of inspired me. Yeah, and songs like the brass band music, gospel music, church music, and also like with the choirs and stuff, there's always music around growing up, and everybody was always singing in harmony. Like when I went to primary school and people didn't know how to sing in harmony, it was weird because we did it since we were young, you know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy like that.
Within the NZ hip-hop industry, I almost feel like the Polynesian MCs have almost developed, their own brand. It's almost a culture in itself.
Yeah, but the thing is like New Zealand culture has opened up their arms to that. Like it's okay to say little island, like little island words here and there, Samoan or Tongan, whatever it is. Like it's acceptable to the ear. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like when you hear it on the radio, it plays mainstream. like 5-5, that kind of thing. Yeah. But like, what do you think? Like, I mean, that's me being Polynesian, but like with you being African and from Africa, do you think it'll be acceptable with the, if you were to mix it up?
I feel like to grow as an artist, maybe I should be, finding out about my culture and trying to bring that in. But even in saying that, I don't really know my language that well. I still have a lot to learn about my own culture, so it's kind of a catch-22.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome into the studio our Base FM brethren. Good morning to you, Raiza Biza, my bro. How are you?
I'm good, Chip and Dylan. Thanks for having me once again.
another exciting project about to happen tonight. Give us just a little bit of a rundown of what's happening tonight down there at 1885 Basement.
Well, this will be my first show with a band. I've got a 4-piece band of some really talented musicians.
That must be, I suppose, slightly nervous, but exciting.
Yeah, extremely nervous. I don't know what to expect. It's something that's not within my control completely. I'm sharing a stage with another 4 musicians. So I'm nervous, but extremely excited.
Oh man, I can't wait to see this tonight. Raiza, always a pleasure to have you in the studio, my bro, and can't wait. It is 29 minutes after 9 o'clock. Raiza Biza with a live band tonight, 1885 Basement. The doors open at 8 p.m.
So I'm just about to go on. The bar is packed. The vibe is good. Everyone's having a good time, and I was initially nervous, but now I feel excited and ready to take on this new challenge.
I just want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. I really appreciate this. This is my first show doing with a live band, and it's such an honor to be surrounded by so many dope musicians. So, make some noise for my band one time. Fellas, should we get into the first joint?
I'm extremely, honored and humbled to be jamming with such great musicians. It's like every instrumentalist has, it's almost like he's trying to tell his own story with the instrument. The drummer's trying to get out, get aspects of his personality and add that into the song. And the guy on the bass will be playing what he feels, and everyone has a story.
Hey, coming up on the west side of Joburg. Since I dropped Cage Line, it's been more work. Trying to live up to the buzz of my old work. See the world like the eye on the pyramids. Yeah.
When I'm surrounded by musicians who are adding so much of themselves into playing, made me want to work harder on my story, and I know that I have a deeper story to tell.
Talking with Tonga the other day really gave me a renewed passion
and an added focus on bringing more of my story and my culture, my heritage into my music. It's pushed me to the point that's gonna force me to take action.
And my name, ladies and gentlemen, is Raiza Biza. Thank you so much for coming.
My dad is he's someone who I admire immensely. From what I know, his life as a young man was quite difficult. Living in the environment that he did, and some of the things that he went through and his family went through, he finds very difficult to speak about. So it's always been difficult to kind of open that lane of communication. I'm in Hamilton at my flat. My producer and I have been looking through some Rwandese samples, and we found some good ones. And it's good timing because I have a showcase coming up, and I'm also currently recording a new EP. This will mean that I'll be able to write some new verses about my history, about my family's history, and finally include that into my music.
Guess I came to the crossroad, been around and I'm back. Had to find out where I came from to realize where I'm at. A young man face to face with his future, but I have to make peace with my past. Maybe that's what I've been missing. Maybe that's what's been holding me back. My time's out, got a little, but it's...
Is that what you got at the moment?
I'm really struggling to kind of continue from there because, to an extent, I feel like this is not just my story. I feel like this kind of goes back to my dad's story. And
I reckon you should at least call him or talk to him about it, because like this is, you know, this is stuff that you need to get right. You know what I mean? Talking about Rwanda and everything that matters, you know, to the family and everything like that.
I don't know if you.
Well, you got to try. You know what I mean? Because it's important. You know, it's important. It's going to be important to you and him. You know, because I think it's also a father and son thing. You know.
All right. Well, I guess it's worth a try, right?
Well, yeah, sure.
All right.
Come, yeah.
You got credit? Well, you were right. He actually agreed to come down, which is just pretty buzzy because I mean, you know, he supports my music, but he's never actually really listened to it.
Yeah,
so
you mentioned that. Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm actually a little bit nervous because you know, I mean, I don't know what he's gonna think or what his opinion will be, but
it's a step forward, I reckon, in the right direction.
Guess I came to the crossroad, been around and I'm back. Had to find out where I came from to realize where I'm at. A young man face to face with his future, but I had to make peace with my past. Maybe that's what I've been missing. Maybe that's what's been holding me back. Got a lot to find out for my time's out. Took a little while, but the time's now. Maybe I should have a talk with my pops now. Maybe I should go back to Rwanda. But I fear, cause I don't speak my language, that I still feel like an outsider. That's what drives me to pick up and relearn my mother tongue for when the prodigal son returns.
yeah. So the reason that I write music is to tell my story, but I've been feeling like I'm missing bits and pieces of that story. And you know, as I mentioned in that verse, I have a fear of going back to Rwanda and still not feeling anything, and then what, you know?
The reason why I suppose you haven't really been aware of it that much is because I suppose maybe I was not ready to tell the story. When I was growing up, what was going on at that time actually meant that you had to go. You stayed, you died. And I so crossed the border with, you know, a bag of clothes and left everything behind.
When you left, you're not intending to come back.
It simply wasn't something that I thought would ever be possible, you know. That's why I never even taught you Kinyarwanda. That was how final living was. Because of the context in which people left, we sort of tended to leave everything behind, including our culture. So there's a lot of youngsters who are going back there with a blank page, and I think so you wouldn't be the only one. You find a lot of people who can't speak Kinyarwanda.
I guess it's a little bit comforting to know that, you know, that I won't be the only one. But I definitely want to go and visit.
I'm proud that you are reaching that decision on your own to now embark on a serious search for those answers.
Well, you know, I want to thank you, first of all, for taking the time out to come and have this conversation. And it's good to know that, you know, you're willing to help me on this journey. I kind of thought it was going to be something that I'd have to do on my own, but, you know, it's good to have you. You know, good to have your input. Would you? I mean, I performed pretty late, but would you be open to, you know, maybe seeing one of my performances sometime?
Of course, I would love to do that.
Hey, thanks, Dad. I really appreciate that.
No worries.
So tonight is a big night. I have a show with my band. My mom and dad are actually coming from Hamilton to see me perform. It's the first time they're gonna be seeing me perform. The reason I've never invited them to my gigs is because I was always performing with a DJ. You know, it's just myself emceeing over backing music. And I guess I just felt like it wasn't good enough. You know, I felt that maybe if that was the first time they saw me perform, they wouldn't get the full picture. Now I have the band behind me, and I feel like it's kind of blurred out a lot of the borders between, say, hip-hop music and jazz, and now I feel more confident that they will be able to understand and enjoy it.
Right. I guess I'm trying to find land I can stand on. Reconnect with the place I got my name from. I made a lot of mistakes, I got the plan wrong. Guess I didn't really know where I came from. On the road to finding out what am I about. There's only so much I can learn without flying out. Stepping foot on the place that we stood on. I really hope me and my pops can speak more.
Embarking on this new musical journey with the live band, as well as having these conversations with my dad, has I think it's really changed who I am as a musician, and I think also as a person, it's really helped me progress. I look at things differently now. It made me think I should just continue. As I learn more, I should keep putting it into my music, and I think that it's going to shape me. It's going to shape me, and it's going to shape my music in the future. I appreciate you guys taking the time to come and see me perform.
Seeing how you feel about what you're doing really made me understand why you have spent so much energy doing it. We were very proud, really happy we came.
Congo, Rwanda, Zambia, but now I'm here.